Where are you at with Luka? Everybody thinks he's all the sportsbook think that he is the MVP favorite. They have him listed there. He's coming into another season. Everybody's like, all right, he's just going to take another step forward. He's like top 5 in the league right now. How high are you on Luka right now, and where do you think it goes this year?
As far as awards, I think that's kind of gimmicky. Like, I don't really know how to describe if he'll win the MVP, because are the voters going to keep Giannis out again, or is his clock now restarted where Giannis can win it too? Like, who knows what the voters are thinking with that?
Yeah, does Giannis get like extra bonus points because he won the Finals MVP, right? Like, he comes into this league.
What are the
like,
voters doing with Giannis?
Yeah,
what are we doing with Giannis? Like, is he in or out of the conversation, even though he's like always should be in with his play? I think there's also a way and a pathway for Luka to struggle out of the gate because it's a brand new system, and I'm not sure what lineups you're going to play with Luka that benefit him. I mean, if Moses Brown's one of our top guys, we're like, oh yeah, that offense could look good with Moses Brown and Luka. I'm not sure where the offense is at that point, to where maybe it takes him a little bit to get into kind of his groove. But I think just pure talent level, he's the best player in the NBA. I think that he's great and is awesome, and I can't believe that the Mavericks got him. I remember listening to the reaction pods whenever they pulled off that impossible trade that I was hoping to get to record one this year whenever the Thunder got pick 6, but they could not trade up. And I think he's the best player in the NBA, though. And I think that he will be for a long time. And whenever you have the best player in the NBA, you have a chance to win a title every single year, because the league is driven by 2 or 3 guys on each roster.
Yeah, skill-wise, it's sort of hard. Like, you hear that and you say, okay, he's the best player in the NBA, like the best, skill-wise in the NBA. And you're like, okay, well, what about Giannis and Durant and all that? And you're like, well, does Durant really become an offensive engine all in himself? He can become the most dangerous weapon. Like I say, as an offensive weapon, I think Durant is more dangerous and better than Luka, right? Obviously better shooter. He can get a shot off from anywhere, but he can get his shot off from anywhere. Luka adds the element of, I'm going to set everybody up, and basically I'm going to become just such an incredible mismatch for everybody and find out where that mismatch is for my entire team, that I can just exploit it, a la, what LeBron does, or what, James Harden did for a long time. And I just think that, yeah, I think I might be with you. And then with Giannis, it's like, okay, well, he also adds the defensive element, and that's what makes him, such an incredible player. But if you're just looking at, the offensive end, if you're just looking at, skill-wise for your team, man, it's so wild. What is he? 22. He's about to be 23. Luka Doncic, best player in the NBA. It's insane that we got here.
Yeah, and I mean, as somebody who got to watch KD grow up and become the player that he is,
right.
This is the exact same feeling that you should have about Luka, that what we felt back in 2008 and 9 and 10. I mean, this is a guy that's going to take you to the finals sooner than later, and he's going to eventually be regarded widely as the best player in the NBA. I mean, they tried to crown Kevin Durant after going to the finals one time. Like, that's how good he was. I think that as the media and as like just the narrative shapers, people have to wait to see it in the playoffs, whenever in reality, what did Luka do last year to lose that first round series? I mean, it wasn't really his fault that they lost. So why are we waiting on wins and losses whenever we can see with our eyes who the most talented player is? That's just where I stand on it. But I do understand that, like, we're still waiting on counting rings and doing this or that. I mean, I didn't get to watch Michael Jordan, so I'm not going to comment on the Michael Jordan LeBron thing. But if the only thing holding you back is rings, then that to me, that's a silly way to look at the metrics of who's the best ever player. So that's why I'm comfortable right now saying Luka's the best player, even though he's not had that team success of getting to the next round, even much less an NBA Finals.
It took Kawhi Leonard having, like, quite literally the playoff game of his life in that game 6, score 45 points to win that game 6, and then in game 7, he also had to have an incredible game as well, just to beat Luka and whatever Luka had. And Kawhi had a much better team on paper, like just a much better team overall. He had Paul George, he had those wings, he had a more veteran team, as the oldest team. Like, we cannot forget that. I think now we look back, we're like, oh, the first round exit again for the Mavericks. Like that, I don't know if that first round exit can be, talked about and can be considered on the same level as a first round exit, like in the East, right? Like a first round exit for the Knicks. You know what I mean? It's just not the same. It's just not even the same category, same class. Kristaps Porzingis. Let's just do a couple of the big topics here. How are you feeling about Kristaps Porzingis? Should the Mavericks be looking to trade him? Are you like drinking the Kool-Aid with the, I don't have my cup, but I'm just going to drink an invisible cup with this is his first healthy offseason. Are you drinking the Kool-Aid on that? How do you feel about Porzingis going into this year?
There's a lot of ways to go about this. And I do think you're right that Mavs fans should not look at last year as a first round exit. To me, there's 2 different ways to look at a first round exit. There's the Thunder way, whenever it was, Kobe knocking them out, and it was a 19-year-old KD, Russ, and Harden, and then the Chesapeake Energy Arena, we're all on our feet applauding them as they just lost Game 6 on their home floor. And then there's Russ and Paul George just got embarrassed by the Jazz and then embarrassed again by the Blazers. It was not embarrassing to see the Mavericks lose that series. It was okay, Luka's coming. And the thing is, you don't have Russ and Harden. Like, it's Luka coming. How can we build out this roster around Luka? Because you only had one guy, and it took Kawhi, it took Paul George, it took every